On today's Locked On Thunder podcast, it's down to three teams that the Thunder could play in the first round, but we do have a first round schedule for Oklahoma City, how the Grizzlies Warriors game went down, and more.
You are Locked On Thunder, your daily Oklahoma City Thunder podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Let's get it going on the Locked On Thunder podcast on the Locked On Podcast Network, your teams every day. I am your host, media member, and beat writer for Thunder on SI, Rylan Stiles. Follow me on Twitter at Rylan_Stiles. Follow the show on Twitter at LOThunderPod. Email the show, LOThunderPod@gmail.com. Folks, it's down to three names it could be for the Thunder to take on in the first round. The Golden State Warriors got it done in the 7-8 matchup in the play-in tournament. They're going to go take on the Houston Rockets in round one. And I think that this worked out perfectly for the Thunder. And I know that that really grinds the gears of some listeners. I think people conflate or confuse the idea that like the Thunder would still win. They just would have an easier time not playing Golden State. Because the difference is Golden State undoubtedly has more raw talent, experience, and ability to win than Memphis or Sacramento or Dallas. So the difference in beating Golden State in 6 games and potentially sweeping the other 3 is vast when you talk about what lies ahead in the second round, which is why the schedules that came out today are so important. But this game between Memphis and Golden State, it had a lot of wrinkles to it. I mean, Golden State got up by 20 points, and you're thinking, okay, they're going to cruise. Then they blew it. They blew it. So much so that Memphis led in the fourth quarter. So much so that Memphis had the ball down 3, and they couldn't get the ball in. I mean, thank the heavens that Taylor Jenkins wasn't there, because certainly it fired him for some reason. And the only way he could have made it worse than a 5-second violation would be to call a timeout that you didn't have and get you a technical foul. Maybe that's what they were afraid of, because it certainly wasn't a decision because of the mastermind plays that the interim head coach can draw up, because that utterly failed for Memphis down the stretch in Golden State. So congratulations on firing Taylor Jenkins in the middle of a season. And it lost them this game against Golden State as the Warriors held on at home. I think that the Warriors have a whole different temperament on a ton of different factors. Number one, if you would have lost this game, you would have lost 2 must-win games at home, where you must beat the Clippers to get to a top 6. You must beat the Grizzlies to get to the playoffs and be a 7th seed. That feels terrible, and that starts to talk about some of these rotations and some of these rotational players for Golden State. But also, the flip side of that coin is, for Golden State's sake, not having to play Oklahoma City, while it would be the potential to take off a game or 2 from the Thunder, they have a chance to actually win this series against Houston. And I'm not saying that I'm going to pick Houston to lose, but you at least have a percentage chance to beat Houston in a playoff series that is greater than the percentage chance that you would have to beat the Thunder in a playoff series. The Thunder's you have chance against the Thunder is closer to 0. Your chance against Houston is much larger than that. So it works both ways, and Golden State got what they wanted out of it, and the Thunder's path becomes clear, because we're going to talk about how much easier this path becomes for Oklahoma City coming up. But for Golden State, the big concern would be Podziemski was terrible. He was awful in this game. So much so that when he had the ball, I was shaking. He was terrible, because I did not want to pay the piper to go to San Francisco in round 1. And that's concerning. It's concerning that when the ball is not in Jimmy's hands or Steph's hands, your role players, besides Quentin Post, look terrified. Don't even want to shoot. But you made it through with Gary Payton having a few nice cuts and Jimmy Butler having a really nice playmaking game and Steph Curry closing it out. And that's kind of your formula moving forward if you're Golden State. It kind of played to the expectation level. And then with Memphis is now the toughest remaining team, because you either have Memphis, Dallas, or Sacramento. But even so, I would only respect Memphis enough to just call it a gentleman's sweep. Whereas Sacramento and Dallas, as hard as it is to get sweeps, talent wise, should sweep them. With Memphis, you got to give the respect to Ja and Bane and Jaren Jackson Jr. And the possibility of a hot game from Luke Kennard or a hot game from Scottie Pippen Jr. That they could steal one in Memphis in the grindhouse, right? They could steal one, on their home court. But even then, it wouldn't shock you if OKC just swept them up, and that's probably the most likely outcome. The most likely outcome from here is probably the Thunder in 4, but maybe 5 if the other team gets hot. The difference is you'd have to squint really hard to find that path for Dallas or Sacramento to steal a game, and you have to squint slightly less to find the path for Memphis to steal a game. But ultimately, Jaren Jackson Jr. was way too quiet tonight. He was at times just floating around on the court on both ends. Desmond Bane had it tonight, though. Desmond Bane was awesome as a scorer, especially in getting to his spots downhill. John Morant, for dealing with that ankle injury, had a really good outing. And then you have the Zach Edey situation. And the Zach Edey situation is so interesting because there's such a divide. He's so polarizing. Either you're on the side that just tweet about him as if he's the worst player to ever exist, or you're on the side to cling to every little thing he does right and hold it up and try to defend him with your life. And the truth is often in the middle. To me, Memphis should be playing Zach Edey a boatload of minutes because Memphis has 0% chance to win a championship. And we're allowed to say that behind the microphone. Obviously, the guys in that locker room, just like the guys in the Thunder locker room wouldn't say that they're afraid of Golden State, that Golden State's a tougher matchup. We can say that because we're not a part of the team, right? So Memphis is going to say all the right things of we believe, why not us? Why not have a Cinderella run, etc. The reality here is they have no chance to win a title. 0. The benefit of winning Friday and playing the Thunder is the ability to let Zach Edey play, is the ability to let Zach Edey in a postseason run where you can't win it, learn these lessons and figure out how to fail and thus how to get better. Because he was stellar on the glass, 17 rebounds, boxing out and helping other guys get rebounds, tapping the ball out. He was awesome. He did everything to create you extra possessions, and that was the only thing he did right. He was hunted on the defensive end. He fouled way too much. He couldn't convert those rebounds. He shot 36% from the floor as a 20 feet tall giant, which is hard to look like a giant on an NBA court. Zach Edey still does. He's got impeccable size. He just can't use it properly. He just can't convert around the rim. And he's got to learn how to do that. And you can only learn by doing it. You can only learn by seeing the pictures and getting better. So if your goal is to win a playoff series, Zach Edey's archetype is not the kind of guy you want to play, even as he was a +6 in this game and had the best individual box score plus minus. And he did do an excellent thing very well, where it's like you need rebounding, you need extra possessions in playoff situations where possessions become more valuable. He just can't be a winning player yet. And that's not to say he'll never be one. It's to say that he can still grow, because I refuse to believe that over time you can't teach him to convert more around the rim with his size advantages. Even something as simple as being stronger with the ball in his hands and having a better grip and having a better location of the ball. Why is he pulling the ball down when he could just hold the ball over guys and really impose himself where he's losing the ball too much? I mean, the 4 turnovers tonight, inexcusable from a guy like Zach Edey. So he's not there yet, and the Thunder would have the benefit with him on the court, but you've got to still play him to let him work through some things and really invest in him, because otherwise, I mean, what's it all for to play John Gonkar? Like, what's it all for to play Santi Aldama? Like, who cares? All due respect, right? Like, you'd much rather invest in figuring out how to make Zach Edey viable in these settings, and you can do that by winning Friday and getting some data points from a postseason run. So I'm on the side of continuing to play Zach Edey, because I don't think he overly hurts you. If your chances are 0, he can't overly hurt you any more than having a 0% chance. And I think he at least does some things that help you. He at least gets you extra possessions to try to pull off upsets. So ultimately, like, the net aggregate is a positive, but he just has so much to learn about the NBA game, which is fine, right? We always talk about how difficult it is to adjust to NBA life. And then when we see it happening in front of us, we're quick to just throw everybody out with the bathwater. That's not the case. Zach Edey is going to get some time to grow. The thing with Memphis is you could see a game where it all comes together. It's not going to be 4 out of 7 where it all comes together for all their guys. They're just too inconsistent. They just allow you to go on these runs, and we know how the Thunder take advantage of runs. We know how the Thunder take advantage of leaving that door open. But it is down to 4 for, I mean, it is down to 3 for Thunder opponents from 4. We'll talk about those possibilities in the schedule coming up. But first, I want to say right now, but our good friends over at Open Phone, go check out Open Phone today. Folks, if you're running a business, you know that every missed call is money left on the table. Think about it. When was the last time that you were in a service emergency and the first person didn't answer? Did you wait around? Probably not. That's why you need Open Phone. Open Phone is the #1 business phone system designed to streamline and scale your customer communications all through an app on your phone or computer. I love that you don't need to carry 2 phones with Open Phone. You can manage your business calls and texts on one app, whether you're at your desk or on the go. I also love the ability to have the call transcriptions and summaries saved on yourself for your phone, on your phone for your time, saved yourself the hassle of keeping up with follow-ups and ensure that you never lose track of customer interactions. Open Phone is offering my listeners 20% off your first 6 months at openphone.com/LockedOnNBA. That's OPENPHONE.com/LockedOnNBA. If you're switching from another service, Open Phone will even port over your existing members at no extra charge. Open Phone, no missed calls, no missed customers. Also, want to tell you right now, my good friends over at Amazon Fire TV Stick. This is groundbreaking stuff. Did you know that Fire TV is also available on Xbox? From any TV, you can turn it into your gaming and entertainment hub with Fire TV Stick 4K devices. No console required. Just grab your paired controller, subscribe or sign in to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with EA Play included, and you're ready to play. You can dive into hundreds of premier titles from EA Sports College Football 25 to Call of Duty Black Ops 6 as easily as you stream your favorite shows. It's a gaming made simple. It's all on your Fire TV. The latest technology, and it helps you elevate your play as well with Wi-Fi 6/6E and auto low latency mode. Advanced technology with Fire Stick TV 4K delivers smoother and more responsive gameplay with lightning fast speeds to help you stay competitive. Endless entertainment with 4K streaming. Watch more than 1.5 million movies and TV episodes from your favorite subscription services like Netflix, Prime Video, Disney Plus, Max, and more. Make sure that you can go check it out today because you will want to get in on this action with the ability to play Xbox and Game Pass right on your Amazon Fire TV. And trust me, you're going to want to play college football. You're going to want to play college football. I have my Tennessee Dynasty. I've already won 6 national titles. No big deal. You can go win some yourself by heading to Amazon.com/Fire TV Locked On to get started. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate subscription and compatible controller required. Available with select devices, including the Fire Stick 4K second generation, Fire TV Stick 4K Max first and second generation, and Fire TV Cube third generation. We're back on the Lockdown Thunder podcast on the Lockdown Podcast Network, your teams every day. Thank you so much for making us your first listen every single morning, every single day. We're here for you talking Thunder basketball. Folks, we do have a playoff schedule. We also see the Thunder have 3 possible opponents now. Memphis, who we've talked about at length, the beat-up Dallas Mavericks, who are without Luka Doncic, and the Sacramento Kings, who do not have Malik Monk to really put a blow to their rotation, and just an uninspiring team. Uninspiring rotation, uninspiring roster. The Thunder path could not be simpler in terms of having a quick first round, which becomes ever more valuable when you look at the schedules for the first round. The first thing that should jump out to you about the Thunder schedule is the TV column. We only know 4 TV dates for each series, because past that, we have no idea who's even going to play, because games 5, 6, and 7 are if necessary. In the first 4 TV slots, ABC, TNT, TNT, TNT. Did you notice that we didn't say NBA TV? Now, why is that? Because this is undoubtedly the least interesting Western Conference series on the board. Now, I won't go as far as to say the least interesting series on the board because, you know, Orlando is going to Boston and Atlanta, Chicago, or Miami is going to Cleveland. The East play-ins are just beyond irrelevant. But it's for sure the least compelling, or at least should be the least compelling series from a competitiveness standpoint on the West board. And yet, no NBA TV games. You get the marquee ABC game to start day 2 of the NBA playoffs. That's impressive. That shows you marketability. That shows you the interest in this team. That shows you the league wanting to put SGA in front of a massive audience. The league MVP should be league MVP once it is official in a few weeks. Should be the MVP. That shows you that they believe in this Thunder team. We can't do all the belly aching about not being on a Christmas Day slate and not being on prime time enough. And then when the NBA does reward you, not give the NBA credit, because you flip over to the Denver Clippers series, which is the most interesting series of the first round in the West. And Thursday, game 3, NBA TV. With Jokic, with Harden, with Kawhi, NBA TV. It's a changing of the guard. It's a passing of the torch. It's what people, it's what the league thinks people will find interesting, and it is not at all because of the opposition. Not at all, because Golden State's going to Houston, which will be a vastly more competitive series. The Lakers are in Minnesota, a more vastly better series. And of course, Denver Clippers, arguably the best series on the board, NBA TV. So credit to the Thunder for becoming a team like this that the NBA feels like people want to watch, and that the NBA feels like they should put on these big stages, because honestly, if it went the other way, you couldn't complain at all. You couldn't complain at all if it went the other way, because the Thunder should rout whoever they play in round 1. And if they take care of business, if they do limit this series to a 5-gamer, because look, on paper, should the Thunder sweep? Honestly, I think that they should sweep all 3 of them on paper, Memphis included, Dallas and Sacramento. But it's so hard to win 4 in a row. And there's a reason why the Thunder last year only got their 2nd sweep ever as a team against New Orleans. Now, I think that they could do it again, and depending on the matchup, I'd pick it again. But you got to just assume that these series at least go 5 games, because the ball can bounce any different way. Basketball's a game of runs. Who knows what happens with the officiating? Bad night for the tight whistle crowd, by the way, with the Golden State game. Oh my goodness. I've got a migraine from those whistles. A terribly officiated game. And what's funny is it kind of flipped, right? At the beginning, you felt like Memphis was getting the wrong end of it. And then late, Golden State got the wrong end of it. And it all kind of balanced out, and Golden State got the win. But again, anything can happen. NBA is where amazing happens. So you got to at least give the opposition 1 game in a series as a rule of thumb. If the Thunder can ensure that it stays no more than 5 games, the schedule, speaking of that Denver Clippers series, continues to break beautifully for them. We'll tell you more about that coming up. But first, I want to say right now, my good friends over at Skims, go check out Skims today, because shop Skims men's at skims.com/LockedInNBA. Let them know we sent you. After you place your order, select podcast in the survey and select the show in the drop-down menu box that follows. I love Skims. Skims has everything you want, from boxers to briefs. They are very comfortable. They really move with you. They give you that flexibility that you want, and they hold you in all the right places. Wearing Skims as I talk to you right now, that's very intimate. I don't know why I revealed that to you, but I'm enjoying it. Hope you are too. Skims is great. Check them out today at skims.com/LockedInNBA. Check it out today at skims.com/LockedInNBA. We're back on the Lockdown Thunder podcast, on the Lockdown Podcast Network, your teams every day. Here talking Thunder playoffs, Thunder schedule. So we have the schedule in hand for the Thunder. Don't have the opponent in hand yet. Won't have that until Friday night. Game 1 in OKC, Sunday, April 20th at 12 p.m., noon on ABC. First game of the day of day 2. Yes, it's Easter. The Thunder are going to sell that place out. It's going to be packed to the gills. It's going to be fun. It's going to be raucous. It's going to be awesome. And you can have all the qualms you want to about it being at noon on Sunday, but from a competitiveness standpoint of basketball, or finding the edges, finding the margins in a basketball game and series, brutal break for the 8th seed. The 8th seed will play at 8:30 Friday in Memphis. So you can deduce that game ends at 11:30. Then you got to fly over to OKC, whoever wins it, and be ready to go Sunday at noon. Whew. That's as close as you can possibly get to a back-to-back in the playoffs. Obviously, back-to-backs are not allowed in the playoffs, but that's as close as you can get in terms of turnaround in the NBA postseason. Game 2 is on Tuesday on 4/22 at 6:30 p.m. on TNT. Game 3 is in the West 8 seed at April 24th. No time yet because we don't exactly know who the matchup is, but that will be on TNT. And then Saturday, 4/26 would be game 4 in the East City, in the 8 seed city at 2:30 p.m. TNT. Game 5 would be on the 28th with the Thunder hosting. No time, no TV. Game 7 would be May the 3rd. No time, no TV. Game 6 would be May the 1st. No time, no TV. Key point here is, though, let's say the Thunder win in 5. The Thunder would win on April 28th on Monday. Everyone is picking the Clippers-Denver game to at least go to 6. That series does not even end until Game 6 at May 1st. If it goes 7, that's May 3rd when that series ends. That's rest, folks, because, again, you can't have a back-to-back. So the quickest you could start the series would be May 3rd if it goes 6. And you'll have a few days off on the front end of that if you can take care of your business. And that's going to be huge because I think that not only will the Denver Clippers series be tightly contested from a series length standpoint, but from a physicality standpoint, that's going to be grueling on both those teams. So the Thunder can have a little bit of an edge there as well if you're looking for even more advantages. And that's where you're starting to see the path break really cleanly for the Thunder. They didn't have the toughest potential team to play in round 1. The toughest potential team would have been Golden State. Golden State gets to go play the Rockets instead. They still have a 2-3 chance to get two teams that have a 0.0000000 chance to even steal a game, in my opinion, of this series. Like those two teams, Sacramento and Dallas, just are so bad. They remind me a lot of New Orleans, where New Orleans could keep a game close for game 1, but after that, it was just lights out after game 1. Memphis, like I said, we could see the Memphis Grizzlies put together a really strong game, just couldn't seem to do it 4 times in a 7-game span against Oklahoma City. We haven't seen them do it once against Oklahoma City. But of course, the regular season is tougher and tougher to measure up to the playoffs and the playoff setting. But still, it'll be interesting to see, especially if it's Memphis. If it goes chalk and it's Memphis, it really sucks that Ja Morant, turned his ankle tonight. And I think that the refs made a good no call in the sense of upgrading it, because it was just a bad situation where Ja just landed awkwardly. But he was hobbled the rest of the game. He'll have to turn around and play Friday in a winner go home game at home. And then the recovery time for an ankle injury like that, they'll have a quick turnaround and play Sunday afternoon. That's just a brutal break for Memphis, and the whole scheduling being released tonight allows you to see that. So that's all we really know. It's not much because we still have to wait till Friday. That's all we really know. I will say at Thunder practice today, you could just feel the energy in the building from all aspects of how excited everybody was for playoff time. And you should go back and watch the quotes. They uploaded all the avails to YouTube, and the Thunder were specifically asked about taking advantage of these opportunities, and that's what makes this so fun. It's like the Thunder. Yes, they're young. Yes, on paper they're going to be here a long time, And yes, this is just the start of everything, right? This is still this team in its infancy stages. But for as windy of a road as it took to get here for the Thunder in terms of health, they're as healthy as you can be heading into a playoffs. They have as much talent as they've ever had. This is their deepest, most talent-rich team, and you've got to take advantage of it. We've just talked for 20 minutes about how the bracket is set up for them. It's going to be really fun to see this team navigate through the playoffs. We're going to be here for you every step of the way, every day, talking Thunder basketball. A lot of fun stuff. Make sure you go back and check out the bonus podcast yesterday, which was the Western Conference Roundtable with all of our other Locked On West hosts, talking about the playoffs, talking about potential matchups, talking extensively about that Rockets Warriors series. We really went off the rails there, so I'm really glad that we got the payoff for the audience to have Rockets Warriors. Go back and listen to that. And then we're going to have a lot of the guests lined up. We have Andrew Schlecht, Joe Mazzato, Brennan Rabar. We have a lot of guests lined up. We have our lockdown crossover with whatever team ends up making out of the mush from these three. So that'll be a lot of fun to dive into as well. We'll have our traditional show, best, worst, and most likely case scenario. We'll have a mailbag podcast, so drop all of your questions down below. And of course, once we finally know the opponent, we'll have to preview the actual series. So make sure you drop your questions down below on YouTube or on Twitter at Rylan_Stiles or on the Gmail, lothunderpod@gmail.com to get your questions in for the mailbag show. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast from. And until next time, be good and be good to one another.